Hello all, and welcome to my channel. I'm Ravenlaced, and today we are going to be getting into some other DIY. So for a while now I've been doing epoxy projects, and in these epoxy projects I've been using a few different materials that I had laying around the house, to be honest. And the first thing I started was dip nail polish. We also were messing around with wet nail polish as well as eyeshadow. And along with some of the supplies that I have a whole bag of Tattoo ink. So in my brain, I started wondering what will happen if I mix the Tattoo ink with the epoxy. Will it separate? Will it blend? Will it be transparent? Is this something I can use to make solid colors? Is this something that I can use for cool special effects? Or will it separate, not solidify, and kind of give like a different liquid effect? Who knows? Let's see what happens. Okay, to be fair, when I start this whole project, I am going to have a face mask on. I will try to speak as clear, or a respirator on, and I'll try to speak as clearly as I can, but it sounds very muffled. So there's two ways that we're going to probably go about this project. One way is I definitely want to just see how it works with it in general. So we're going to pour it into this cup, put a few drops, and just see what effect it does. I wish these were clear. I apologize. This is what I have. This is what we use, and we'll just figure it out. I really want to see how well it mixes, if it separates, like what this is going to do in the epoxy. So that's going to be the first little what's going on here. And then the second bit that I was thinking about doing was taking the jar project. We're going to fill it up with clear epoxy, and then on top I'm going to take, hold on, rainbow colors. Woo, rainbow. We're going to pour these on top, and then we're going to see, I've got my little poker here. I'm going to take this poker, and I'm just going to see if I need to shimmy it down or just see what happens. And I am also on the fence right now because there's two different ways that I can do this. One way is that I put the epoxy in, I heat it up to try to get a lot of those bubbles already previously out because I know there's going to be bubbles. So I want to eliminate a lot of those bubbles before even starting the project, and then do the ink, and then try to make it look cool, and then do the light right away, and to try to encapsulate what you already have, because I know sometimes when you let it sit, you're not going to get what you were getting before. And I actually found that out in a project I just did recently. It did not turn out in any way like I meant for it to turn out, and that was very interesting. It was a very big learning curve for me. So not only that, but this is also a method and a way of me to see how all this interacts with each other, because I want to do it two separate ways. I want to do it one separate way where it's like a puddle and then I'm poking into it, and then another separate way where I'm mixing it. So just to get an idea of how the product is working. Anywho, let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to do this first part with audio. I usually do music over on this, but oh my goodness, I wanted to do this first part. Oh, I forgot so many things. Where's my paper towel? Oh my goodness, I lost my paper towel. I had to run and go get it. Yep, that was the thing. 1 second. Okay, can we try that again? Holy Moses. Yeah, don't try this without that. You need paper towel. You need something to wipe this stuff off with. So we're going to do the first bit in this cup. And I think I just want to do like a tiny bit. I don't really want to do a whole bunch. I did pop out this crystal on the side mold. to kind of just do this one just to see, so I'll probably pour just a tiny bit more. I think that's about a good bit that's going to cover that crystal mold, just to see. Wanted to get a cool effect. Plus, if I do it in the crystal mold, then it'll give me, like, you know, how clear is it, how transparent is it. That's a very big key factor. So here we go for that. Okay. I'm going to try to do this in a way where you can see it as well. What color should I do? I'm going to do all of them. I'm mixing this one. What color, what color, what color, what color, what color, what color, what color? You know, the red is screaming at me, so let's do the red one. Well, I already have, I did blood crystals before. I did black crystals before. I don't need to do any more. Let's try green. Emerald. Emerald sounds nice. Make sure there's no little safety thing. Oh, look at that. Safety thing right on it. These are so hard to get off. Oh my gosh. Very annoying little pieces, but I got it off. There we go. Okay. I'm just... There we go. Okay. Oh, it's just sitting. Oh, the camera. Come on. Is it dripping? It's sitting on top. It's just sitting there like paint. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. There's my little poker. Okay. What happened? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay. It's definitely seems like it's separating. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna try to show. Okay, it's definitely getting like a separating effect. I'm gonna try to mix it really good and see what it does. Whoa. I gotta take a better look. Hold on. What am I looking at? Is it separating through the whole thing, or is it sitting on? Well, that's gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna try and mix it through. Just get it a good mix. This is tripping my brain out. I cannot tell. It's definitely not mixing like I thought it was gonna mix. I don't know. Okay, maybe I just needed to bring it up on top. Hold on. I am mixing this for the good of science. Oh, it gave such a cool oily effect in the clear that when I do the rainbow in the clear, I really hope it gives a cool effect in that one, because that was just intense. Oh, the rainbows. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I think this is going to look really cool. Oh, what have I done? The madness ensues. Okay, so it looks like a green. It's kind of mixed. That looks mixed in now. A little separation, but not as much as I was thinking it was. So now, okay, on this part, we're gonna, give me 1 second. Just throwing away trash. Alright, sorry. Gonna get a lot of live commenting when you want to get the live version of me. Now my little mistakes I make along the way. Alright, I even waited a second, so still not separating. Still looks pretty mixed. Wow. Alright, let's make some emeralds first and then we'll work on our rainbow jar. So, I cannot. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute, is there something in this? There's something in here. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to use it if there's something in it. What do you mean? Ugh. So, my butt decided I was going to try to use molding clay and see if I can make a crystal mold out of molding clay. That's supposed to be like, once it's exposed to air, it hardens. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if I did it in this, not thinking it's only going to harden on the bottom and not on the inside whatsoever. I mean, I gave it a couple days, but still, I feel like you could give that thing a month and it still wouldn't have done it. And there's still chunks of molding clay in here, even though I've cleaned it like a million times. And done 2 other epoxy molds already. And there's still molding clay in there. That tells you how versatile this stuff is. Okay. So, I think that's good enough. I'm going to go for it. You know? You gotta go, you gotta do it. Just gotta go. Oh my goodness. The look is very good. The color is insane. I would almost use this for like an effect for like green slime or boogers. Ew, like Halloween boogers. Yes. Tell you. You know, I thought I was going to get much more into the season of Halloween this year than I really did, but I just, it's been a lot going on, you know? A lot of change. There's been a lot of energy shifts and change, and I have noticed. Energies are freaking real this month. Okay, so I'm trying to bring the epoxy down just a bit more because it's just a little too full. I went heavy-handed on that poor bit. I don't like it being so full. So I'm just dipping it. And I'm looking also to see like how the pigment looks on here. And it's not separating, and it's not looking like anything. It really looks like it mixed really well. This could obviously change the minute I add heat to it. So that's the second thing. What's going to happen when I add heat? We will find out. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, I had a small trash can. I really felt like it was going to do what I needed it to do. It could not, so I had to get a bigger trash can. Alright, let's get back to it. I'm missing other things. Hold on. I swear, we need to have a moment. We need to have a moment. Okay, I'm going to heat this up. Try to get some of these bubbles out real quick. And let's see. I'm also curious what happens with heat. So 2 experiments really happening here. Alrighty. So sorry for breaking your eardrums for a minute there. Hold on, sorry. I'm gonna mute this mic and keep going. Or maybe not. Yeah, yeah, torture you? Make you go through it? Yeah, I'll make it. Okay, nothing looked like it really separated or anything. It looks pretty good, maybe a tiny bit lighter on top, but I didn't really notice much of a difference of it. Mostly just mixing in, yeah, and the bubbles are coming out. Doing the heating gun really made a difference. It got a lot of bubbles to come up. That's what I'm kind of doing with the scoop right now, is just going through trying to scoop out a majority of the bubbles before I grab this light and set it. But I think as far as heating up and all that, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the results that I have already. It's just teeny little tiny bubbles coming up now that I'm just noticing. So yeah, clean up these little tiny bubbles coming up a bit here and there, and then we're gonna set it and see how it goes. So in setting it, you really want to go slow, because the heating up of the epoxy, it could not set right, and if you try to do it when it's too warm, like you try to rush the project, the crystals can break off and it won't set right. So you really want to give this a lot of patience, you know, set it a bit,
wait a bit, set it a bit, wait a bit, and this way you won't get a lot of expansion happening and you won't get deformation of your projects, and you won't also get where certain areas set and others didn't. And this isn't such a transparent, the more transparent projects, man, they'll set right away, obviously, but this is less transparent. So I am curious, though, how transparent it's going to look once it's out. I definitely have a lot of small bubbles that keep kind of coming up and coming up. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to be here for a minute trying to do this. No, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna sit here and do this anymore. I think I'm gonna. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh my goodness, there's little bubbles that keep trying to come up. Are you kidding? Maybe use the heat gun a little bit in this area, and then. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get that with this. Go ahead and do this old school way. And just scoop it out because I do not want to be sitting here forever trying to heat bubbles up and make more of a mess. Sometimes it's better just get the scoop it up yourself, and then continue on. Alright. Now it's time to throw the light on it and see what this baby does. And it's so exciting.
Okay, now that I've done that a bit on one side, this side's solidified, so I'm going to very carefully turn it over. I'm not trying to touch anything on top because sometimes on this side there's not anything solidified yet. So you don't want to touch anything on top. And also, before you set the other side, you're going to want to turn it over, and then you're going to want to do it and then solidify it, because sometimes you'll get bubbles in the spikes, and you can avoid that by throwing the bubbles a little bit more in the epoxy so they're not showing on top. But this is very hot right now, and I know that if I try to set it more with it being so hot, it's just not going to set right. So I'm going to let this cool. We're going to put a timer on. If I can find my phone. There we go. So we're going to throw a timer on. I'm going to say about 10 minutes for this. And once 10 minutes is done, then we will get back to it. Okay, I've given it about 10 minutes. It's cooled off a lot. So now I'm going to flip it over and immediately throw the light on it. And we're going to do it on this side for a bit and then go ahead and flip it around, do it on the other side for a bit. Okay, so now I'm done with the heating process. I'm going to turn it back around and I'm going to give it another 10 more minutes to set. It just gets really, really hot. I can already feel the heat. So I'm going to give it another 10 more minutes to set. And then what we're going to do after the 10 minutes is up is I'm going to do it once more on this side, once more on the other side. And it should be set enough for me to pull it out. So we're just going to give it a bit longer to cool off. Set it once on one side, one on the other, and then pop that out and see how well it turned out. It's really, really pretty so far. I'm totally entranced. Okay, now I'm going to do the UV light. I had to close my door, so hopefully ventilation doesn't get too crazy in here. Gonna do this again, one side, and then flip it over, do it the other side. And it should be set enough for me to take it out of the mold. Cross my fingers. Let's see. Alright, and then once it's done set on that side, we'll flip it over, set it again, and let's go. Okay, so I know you're going to get excited and you're going to want to see it right away, but it is really important that you at least give this 5 minutes to cool, because when this epoxy setting, it is just so hot and you can burn yourself, so please be careful. And yeah, 5-minute timer, boom. We're gonna give that 5 minutes and see our product, see how this came out. Okay, waited the 5 minutes, so let's get her open. She's feeling cooler, it's feeling better. Uh-oh. It's always that one. See, these crystals can be such a pain in the butt to get out. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Some of it. Ooh, is liquidy. Oh no. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm scared. I want to let it go. You know what? I'm having second thoughts. That guys, second thoughts here. Okay, well, I'm going to at least try to get this air pocket that I got in there a bit out. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. It bubbled. And, like, there's a... You see the bubble? There's a bubble. That's interesting. Well, the only thing I can think of is more UV light. All right. Good to know. We're gonna pop the UV light back on. We're gonna wait a bit longer, I guess. Okay, I set it a bit on the side. Let's see. It's hardened back up. Is that still... Oh my God, the bubble's still moving inside, you guys. Oh, well. Well, I don't know what to do about this. This is an interesting issue. So I guess I'm just gonna flip it over and nuke this thing. the only other option I think I have. And also, I'm not sure how well it's set through the mold, because it just seems like it didn't set through the mold. So we're gonna try to set it more through the mold, and I pray that bubble doesn't try to travel its way to the top or something. That would be very interesting. Oh, I just have no idea. This is very interesting. I'm not sure if this worked, to be fair. Don't think Tattoo ink works with epoxy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. We're either gonna have a mess or we're not. We'll find out. So out of everything that's been going on, this is the most interesting thing. It's even though I went and redid this side and I went and redid the other side, it's still not really feeling that warm. And then if you look inside, you can see this bubble still traveling around in there. So that's interesting too, is that it's has air trapped in there, which is befuddling. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, let's see what happens when I separate it again. Like, I don't know if it's setting inside. And that's, you know, the question of the day here. Is it setting inside? What's the deal? Interesting. So once again, I'm going to turn this on, let the light hit it a little bit longer. I'm not quite too comfortable about pulling it necessarily out. I think it's just going to make one huge mess. I'm trying to save it from that, but I would not say that this is a very, I don't know if this is going to work necessarily. The second thing I'm concerned about too is the other project. Like, if this project is such a huge fail, what's going to happen when I add it to the second projects as well? So there's the other question. All right, well, I try to light it up a bit more, and I've done what I could. So, question of the day, how's this gonna come out of here? It's still oozing. Oh my goodness, probably should have some goggles on. I don't know, my confidence is and it doesn't help that there's still epoxy. Like, I can obviously see wet epoxy. I'm glad I'm doing this with gloves. But it did set more than I give it credit for. So it's just wet. Oh, let's find out. This is very interesting. Here, it's so wet. The issue later is also, how the heck? Oh man, see, yeah, didn't set, so parts of it are what, not coming out? Let's try to get this part out. Whoa, okay, so yeah, you can see here, it didn't really set inside. And it left like a big opening, so you could tell it did set on the outside of the epoxy, but anything inside is still very, very, very wet and just a huge mess. I don't know how I want to approach this. I'm trying to figure out what I should do. So let me change my gloves, and yeah, let me think about if I could save it, or I'm not sure about saving it, only because this gave such a cool effect. It really did. My concern was that it didn't solidify inside, So, you know, it's not a very viable tool. It's not, I don't think that, very, very concerning is what it's more leaning towards. I also have a hand torch, like a hand UV light that possibly I could use. The hand UV light might be a little easier to penetrate towards that center fold where it wasn't really getting anything. I got it. You can just see the epoxy. And the thing is, once I harden this, all this will kind of just come off. So that's another positive thing, is I do like to wipe off a lot of excess and stuff, but for the most part, you really don't have to worry about it. You just, it's also why I have this mat here, is because it'll just harden on the mat. It, you know, I don't really want this to harden on the mat. See if I could pick it up and clean off the bottom. Maybe I could just harden it like that. But now it's got this big open crack in the middle, which is disappointing. So can I take some of epoxy from this and just pour it in there and try to fill that center a bit? Yeah, that worked. All right, now it's drooling out, which is fine. I might go for that look. I don't know at this point. Let's see. Pour a bit more over here to make a drooling look over here as well. Very cool look. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but you know, it was a failed project, so having too much fun making a mess. So yeah, we're going to set that. We're gonna try to set what's left in here and get the rest of these crystals cleared out, because the only way to really get those out is just to harden it. That was so interesting. Inside it would not set at all, but all outside it wanted to set, except for that middle part just really didn't get enough light exposure, even though I shined it off like a ton. You know, just inside that center fold, it didn't want to set whatsoever, and that was a very interesting difference. Wow, almost like just pure liquid inside, really. And that makes me wonder, you know, how this is going to necessarily react when I just set it where I'm not mixing it too much in. It's kind of going to be more separated. You know, will this work for that? I don't know. This definitely turned into a project that's going to take a while for me to clean. Whee! Okay, so that just stopped. Oh my goodness, no way that worked. I cannot. Oh my god, is that a bug? A bug scared me. I was like, is there a bug there? Now, is it stuck to the paper? Oh no. Oh no. Alright, let's see if I can try to get this off the paper. Oh no, I think it'll come off. It's gonna come off, but it's not set on the bottom. Oh no. Okay, here we go. I'll throw it over and set it on the bottom. Oh, but it's leaking on the top. What a nightmare, a mess. It just leaked all over my hand, all over something on the top. How crazy is this stuff? Wow. Hold on. Where was it leaking out on top? Really? Oh my god. It was leaking out like here on top or something. So inside it just won't solidify at all. It won't solidify whatsoever inside. It'll solidify outside. How crazy. Wow. What a learning curve that is. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna try to go through this and just get off the epoxy that's on here. There's probably just a bunch, you know, like caked on here. But while I'm trying to get the rest of these crystals out that are gonna come out and just basically shards, I do not think this would work, and I'll explain why. It only hardens on the outside. It's not very compatible. Now if you wanted something that created like a liquid base or a liquid in the epoxy, maybe this is something I would use for an effect like that. But to be honest with you, what a nightmare trying to get each one of these crystals out. I mean, I might have a better, I might have a better time with the poker, because I just know that, you know, each one of these is like really in there. And I was like, yeah, I can get it out. No, I can't. I'm struggling so hard here. And I'm not trying to destroy my mold, even though I'm surprised this mold hasn't been destroyed with the various projects I've done with it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I got not this bit. Let's see. Oh, well, those hardened. So these hardened. And they look cool. It looks so, it gives a cool effect, but it just didn't. These would look like cool diamonds, I feel like, if it worked. Wow, how disappointing. It looks such a cool effect. I'm gonna be honest though, I would rather use wet nail polish. I feel like wet nail polish is better than oh yeah, this is like a pain in the, I can't, some of these chunks you just can't even get out. Like this big one in the center is beyond it's like having a baby. Oh, I really don't like the projects that make this all okay, it came right up. It's a girl. I don't like the projects that make big messes in the crystal projects, because boy, they can be hard to clean if they go awry, and it's like you're sitting here forever just scooping chunks of epoxy out, eh? What did you do all Saturday? I tried epoxy, failed epoxy projects. What did you do Saturday? I don't know. I wouldn't say this is completely failed. Honestly, if you have nothing else and you just want to give it a good color, I mean, for a project where it's real thin, it's set. You know, these crystals actually set pretty well. So I'm shocked over that. So in small like jewelry maybe, you know, but this is not. Like I said, if you want to give that effect, maybe you could try to mess around with this stuff to give it a cool effect where it's liquid on the inside, which is what I eventually was trying with the epoxy crystals, was hoping the outside would take and it would solidify enough for me to get it out and then be liquid in the inside, which would have been cool, a cool, awesome look. And something I would totally go for even if it was harder, but just no matter how many times I UV light it on this side, it wasn't really getting through all the way. Got through some of the way, but then there's that middle part there and even parts on the tips that didn't, especially this tip right here where it just all leaked out and then started solidifying a bit right here on this edge, which gave it a more circle appearance. So yeah, well, that's fun. So I got most of, oh my goodness, that stuff out. Like I said, it takes forever to really get all the little pretty slivers out, but it looks like for the good part I got a good amount of that hardened, solidified, and cleaned out. We'll clean out the rest of that a bit later. I'm not going to try the jar. You know, I was going to do the jar, but honestly, here's your answer for if a project like that works. I don't really feel like it does. Parts of this is still liquid. Even if I went through here, I probably would still find wet epoxy, which is why I'm probably just going to throw away this project as a whole. I know if I do the jar, it's just going to make a bigger mess, really, and I just don't want to deal with a bigger mess. I don't think that this is a good product that's going to work with epoxy. Interesting that nail polish will work with epoxy, but tattoo ink, you kind of fell short here, didn't you? Well, that was entertaining and fun. Lose your mind and find your soul. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for entertaining the idea and joining me on this adventure. I think I'm just going to leave the tattoo ink for the tattoos. You know what I mean? Which, speaking of which, my very next video is going to be tattoo removal on my arm. I know I haven't done those in a while. To be fair, I've been letting my arm heal for a very long time, and I think it is time. It's finally come time to do a removal session for my arm tattoo. So stay tuned because many more adventures are coming on the way. So if you're new to this channel and you like the content you see, I've been creating epoxy projects, 3D print projects, as well as doing my tattoo removal journey and my tattoo applying process. I have a few tattoos I need to add that I'm doing myself, and then there are other tattoos that I'm going to be getting. I will record the journey on from professionals later. So if you like this content, hit that subscribe, throw in that like, and I'll be seeing you guys around. Till then, see ya. Bye.